When, when I think of Eden, I can't separate Eden from his Jewishness. I think Eden reads, as they say, Jewish. I know he's really interested in Jewish affairs. I follow Eden's Twitter feeds and his Facebook feeds, and there's a lot of interest in Jewish issues that have nothing to do with whether he would have a show or not on the air. So I think this stuff comes from the heart with Eden, and I think that's the most important thing. I think viewers would understand that, would recognize that, and would want to be part of that. I still think it would be virtually impossible for Jon Stewart to be anything but Jewish. Bill Maher doesn't look Jewish, does he? But it turns out he's half Jewish. I think that Jews bring that notion of tikkun olam, whether they know about it or not, to their comedy. And I think there's a vulnerability to Jewish comedy. There's a sensitivity to others in Jewish comedy that only exists with Jews, and it's the very super extra special thing that Jews bring to the arts, especially in comedy.
And so I say to the nurse, look, you might want to think about separating the neurotic, depressed Jews with the psychotic killers. Because I don't think we're going to make good roommates. I don't think we're going to get along. And so she looks at me and says, this douchebag looks at me and says, well, everybody here is treated equally until psychiatric assessment is done. I'm thinking, equal. Wait a minute. So let me get this straight. We've raped, maimed, and pillaged the native Indians, okay, to a point where we've swiftly obliterated anything remotely resembling an authentic Canadian culture. And clubbing their tuchus onto little pieces of toxic swampland that is barely inhabitable by your average 6-foot crocodile, and leaving them to drink tap water that's some kind of bioorganic cocktail of E. coli and Staphylococcus and Legionnaire's disease. We've marginalized and racial profiled the black community to a point where they're in some smoldering cesspool of complete and utter racism, where your average black kid can't even walk across the street at midnight with a hoodie, worrying about the fact that he might become open target practice for some police officer with an itchy trigger finger and a dirty, hairy complex. But inside your local psychiatric ward, it's equal opportunity. So the next morning, the nurse comes in and she says,
what I really love about Eden, and why I think he's great for this project, is that as an interviewer, he's like a dog with a bone.
Do you believe in God? Wow, did I just surprise you?
Yeah.
You know, that's a little trick I learned as a host. You couldn't see that one coming, could you?
No, not at that point in time. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. I truly believe that you make your own waves. Yes, sometimes you get lucky, but other times if you sit idle, you'll never get there.
Right, but how do you explain the guy that works far less talented, and succeeds?
They have people helping them. I never had anybody help me in that sense.
So do you believe in a higher power?
I do believe in a higher power. I believe in energy. I believe in positive attitude. I actually created a term, which is a prophetic thinking.
Prophetic thinking.
He will not give up. He will just keep chewing and chewing and chewing until he gets to the place he wants to get to.
Literally, you think of something way into the future that you want to achieve, and just by you concentrating your energy on that, it comes true.
But what if it's not aligned with the universe? What if it's not aligned?
Then you keep trying.
What if it's not aligned with God, the universe, energy, call it what you want? What if it's not aligned?
Then somebody else will take over way after you're gone.
No, in other words, the only reason you've succeeded is because your dream was aligned with the energy of the universe.
And perseverance and not taking
There's a lot of people that have persevered more than you, Boris, and they didn't succeed.
He will not give up.
What's the answer for that? I mean, take nothing away from your determination. There's somebody out there that's worked twice as hard, but he didn't succeed. Why?
I would assume the stars were not quite aligned, just like
Sorry?
you were saying. The stars may not have been quite aligned,
Like I was saying?
just like you
Oh.
said. Yeah, no, I completely
Next witness,
agree.
Your Honor.
He's after marrow. And I think that that is what you're going to get. You're going to get the marrow of Jewish experience on this show. He likes people. He's interested in people. And you can't be a good interviewer. You can't be a good host if you don't care about people. And he does really care about people. I think he's been through enough personally, both good and bad, that he identifies with things that people are talking about. I think he identifies on a very Jewish level. I think he's got a lot of empathy. And I think, by the way, if we're talking about Jewish qualities, empathy is a traditional Jewish quality. I wish there were more of it. I wish there were more Edens in the world.
You see, I was there in the hospital to inspire and to impact and to ultimately help heal the people around me, and in so doing, I could actually heal myself. And, I learned a very powerful lesson right there and right then. I wanted to say before I leave here, ladies and gentlemen, that, no one's exempt or immune from the trials and tribulations of life. And I hope that when a storm hits you, and you find yourself between a rock and a hard place in some kind of crisis or an ordeal, that you always preserve a tiny spark of hope, no matter what, because with that tiny spark of hope, everything and anything can be accomplished, and you can build yourself back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. I thank you for your time tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.